Hey there. You're watching the Jessa Channel on YouTube. I'm Jessa, and today I am here with more Skyrim. In the last episode, Kinlen and her companions made their way to Windhelm, where Kinlen was tasked with obtaining Stormcloak papers from a courier. She went in disguise, things went a bit haywire, and thinking quickly on her feet, she blamed the whole thing on the butcher, the murderer in Windhelm, who has yet to be caught. Injured now, just a bit, cut on her leg, which she'll be healing up. She is now sitting around the fire, having reported back to Legate Rikke here in the Pale. Her next task is yet another infiltration, this one a little bit smaller and less in scope, where she's just going to put on her some old Stormcloak armor that she has carried with her for going in disguise into Stormcloak territories. And she's going to report to the captain and give him those falsified papers to stop reinforcements from coming to the Pale. She's been sitting here having a conversation with this soldier here. And
when are we going to see some action?
See if we can get her to sit, stand. Oh, there we go. Yeah. So it's funny. I think if you move her forward while she's sitting down like that, she'll just scoot on her butt right into the fire. Which would be awkward. So it is 6:41 p.m. on Friday on our calendar, and the 27th of Hearthfire in September, in the 4th era 201. I really like that. I think I'm going to keep that for the rest of my Let's Plays in Skyrim, is to tell you what the date is, because I don't know about you, but I feel the passage of time really adds to the roleplay experience, the dreaded immersion word. To let us know how long Kinlen has been in Skyrim, what day it is, what time of day it is. Kinlen stops to give Scout a little treat. Scout is her lead dog. I love it that this mod called Be With Healer, I should probably report this to the mod author, but it allows you to actually make your dog a healer. I don't know what would happen. I'm not going to try it and find out. But Scout takes her dinner, and she and Miko go over, and there's a bit of friendly growling and grabbing and whatnot. Kinlen's going to rest for quite a while and get dressed into her clothing. Legate Rikke has given her the opportunity to sleep in her tent for a while and rest up from her wounds. I've been looking at different injury mods, looking for a mod which allows me to add bandages to the player. Unfortunately, I've been unable to find one that fits the vision I'm looking for. So I'm curious if you may know of one, or may know if it's even possible. But it would be really nice if I could, keeping Kinlen's armor as it is now.
Imperial armor is damn heavy.
It's not that bad.
It would be cool if I could put a bandage around her leg or her arm without having to remove her glove. So it would be sort of like putting on a scarf.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
It would take up an armor slot that is not currently used, for example. That would be really, really neat, just to give the visual. I can role play out her injuries. However, Kinlen's going to actually... Let me see if I can do this. I'm just curious. I used to be able to get Kinlen to sit on the side of the bed. Oh, I know. It involves jumping up like this, and then sitting down like that. There we go. Unfortunately, yeah, we can't see her very well. There's a lot of clipping. It's not very effective. Oh well. Kinlen sits on her bed. You'll have to believe me. She's doing it. And realizes there's not a lot for breakfast. That's a problem. She's quite hungry, having had her injuries. She's going to drink some snowberry juice and a little milk with some Orsinian battle tea. But unfortunately, there's not a lot to eat. I'm going to say that Kinlen gets up and goes and shares whatever soup or stew is in the pot with the soldiers. But she's still pretty hungry, so let's head to Dawnstar and get her, I'm stuck. Can't go inside. Hold on one second. Let me get out of here. I may have... There it is. I couldn't go into first person. So anyway, it's about 6 a.m. now. Her followers are resting. Valgus and Brock are in the tent having a quiet conversation with Legate Ricke. Kinlen listens
You remind
in.
me of Topal the pilot, drifting to new worlds while in search of an old one.
Brock smiles at this and the conversation continues. Let's see if there's anything in the pot. Nope. Somebody else was using this. Oh, good. We can make it hard-boiled eggs, so that's what it'll be for breakfast. Not very much for Kinlen, but it's better than nothing. After boiling that egg up, Kinlen crouches down by the fire and munches on her meager breakfast with a bit of juniper berry juice, and whereas it is better than nothing, it's not going to help her heal much quicker from her injuries. Where'd that egg go? Did she eat it already? Oh, she ate it. I made her eat it, I think. I was like, where's my egg? All right. Now, having taken care of breakfast, we're going to head back into the tent. Yeah, good girl. Is that cute? She waved. Kinlen absolutely adores her hounds. Okay, let's get into our Stormcloak outfit. Let's see if I have it. I do. Good. So the Stormcloak cuirass. Or cuirass. And I believe there is more. Maybe I don't have it favorited. Let's see. I know she has more of this outfit. Over here. Travel boots. Huh. I guess maybe I gave some of her Stormcloak stuff away. That's a problem. Let's take a look at what she's got on right now. So this is the cuirass, the boots. Yeah, that's not going to cut it. Let me give her her Stormcloak stuff back, because somehow in a fit of pique or cleaning or something, I sold them. But this is easily rectified. Heading over here. Let's search for Stormcloak and add item menu. Do an item search. Stormcloak cuirass. Stormcloak battle boots. Stormcloak officer boots. Let's go for battle boots. Helmet, definitely, to kind of keep her... a mage hood, a helmet, battle gloves, officer bracers, battle helmet. Heroic Stormcloak helmet. That's funny. Let's give her the battle gloves. And just out of pure amusement, let's give her the battle helmet. Okay, so that's body, feet, hands. Did I do feet already? I did. I got the boots. And let's finish it off with a cape just to really drive the point home. Okay. I'm going to favorite these things so I do not accidentally give them away again. I'm going to put those on and take off, let's see, did I put that cloak on? The gloves, the helmet. I'm looking for the cloak that, there it is, Kate. And we'll take off her... No, I think that's everything. Okay. Oh, look at that. That's awesome. That is awesome. Look at her face. You know, she still hasn't taken her makeup off from her grieving widow outfit, but somehow I think it works in this, so we're going to definitely keep it. I'm going to take a quick picture of our heroine. I'll tell you, this is awesome. Let's hope that the Imperial soldiers know who she is. She comes out with her hands up and says, "It's me! It is I! Do not attack." It's time to check in with Legate Rikke. Legate?
Something to report?
Yes, I am falling asleep. I am on my way to the Pale. I will bring back provisions for the camp and deliver the documents as you requested.
Imperial armor is damn heavy. Yeah,
I'll take my leave then.
I know what you mean.
Thank you. So for this one, I think Kinlen's actually just going to take one follower for this. Let's take, since I can't get Scout because of her menu problem, let's take Miko for this one. If we can get him to follow me. Listen to me, hold, outfit management, tweak options. I've told them all to wait, so I'm hoping I can just get him to follow. Oh, that's funny. I can tell him to make camp. So I'm going to tell him to dismiss, but hang out here, which will bring up his follower, his follow menu. And there we go. You can follow me if you want, and there we go. Okay, so Kinlen tries to scratch behind her ear where it's itching, and her hand meets the heaviness of the helmet, and she curses under her breath. "Hello, little pony. I wish I had something to give you, but I will get you something in town for both of you." A couple of the soldiers wish her well on her mission and give a wave, and she gives a crisp wave back. And we make our way to Dawnstar early. Well, it's about 8 a.m., which is not too early for Kinlen. She's still limping a bit from the cut, and she thinks about her adventures in Windhelm. So Ineed's going to keep putting up messages that Kinlen is hungry, which we are aware of. Looking out over the ridge, Kinlen sees the town of Dawnstar and its lighthouse in the distance and makes her way towards it. Miko follows along happily with this rare chance to spend time with his mistress all by himself. "You're such a good dog." Miko happily takes some extra treats. Dog treats. Kinlen sniffs the dog treats, wondering if they'd be good enough to eat, and realizes that that would be a bad idea and puts them back in her pack. Skyrim is beautiful. This game is 6 years old now. 6 years old. And it's still wonderful. And the thing that I have to look forward to, Kinlen gives a little nod to the fox who's looking out into the ocean, over the Sea of Ghosts there, the sea. And then Kinlen makes sure that her documents are in her pack. Forged documents, there we go. And they nestle there, just where Legate Rikke put them, or when she put them. Kinlen put them after Legate Rikke gave them back to her, these forged documents. As always, you know, we could run. Kinlen isn't running for a few reasons. One, because of her injury, and two, because why? Why not just enjoy the morning? I do have Kinlen's walk speed up pretty, I've adjusted it using Sky Tweak, so she moves at a pretty good clip. And one of the things that I like that you can do with Sky Tweak is that you can use it for role-playing purposes. Here, under Actor Values, her base speed multiplier here. So I've increased that quite a bit so that she will walk at a good pace, partly for my own sanity and partly because her legs are very long. And she can really make it through. The cold comes in, it's biting over the Sea of Ghosts, and nips her around her exposed skin. She knows that if she were a Nord, she'd have natural resistance to cold, which is one of the reasons why the Nords wear what she calls downright skimpy outfits. Goose pimples poke up over her skin. Okay, there's the Dawnstar, Way Shrine. So Dawnstar is right around the corner. That, fort, whatever that is up there on the mountain, I thought it was the lighthouse, is a good way to make keep one's, make sure I do not get lost. Kinlen yawns and notices that the Khajiits have gone off yet again. There is a guard patrolling. The town is beginning to wake up. Before I do anything, let me get a meal.
Old Lady Frida is a grouch, but she sure can whip up a cure for the rattles fast.
Good morning. I should try and use a slightly different voice, Kinlen considers, just to make this more effective. Stay warm by the fire, boy. Kinlen lowers her voice and tries to make it a bit more gruff. Realizing that the innkeeper has seen her not more than a few days ago, she knows that it's important to not alert him to who she is. She lowers her head a bit, looking at the ground. Hello.
Need a room? Don't worry. Nightmares don't seem to happen for travelers.
Luckily, he seems to not notice her or not recognize her in the slightest. The helmet is good at covering up her face. Well, I seek some food for the road. What have you got?
Take a look.
They bargain, and Kinlen walks away with some beef stew, a boiled cream treat, 2 of them, some bread. Bread soup is not something I can't imagine that. It must be awful. I don't know. I can't imagine that being a good thing. She grabs some chicken soup, and she's just going to grab as much as she needs. Roasted gourd, which is something she really likes. She also likes Nordic salad. A bit of salmon steak for the dogs. Vegetable soup. She doesn't really like the sweet rolls very much. She doesn't like Nord ale or coffees. Interesting. She's got, let's see. She smells the different teas he has available and decides to go with this Highland tea. She's dismayed that he has no milk, and he says none has come in from the fields yet this morning. She thanks him, and then also makes sure he has some water.
Of course.
There.
See ya.
Thank you. Kinlen stops by the table here to have something to eat, to take care of that hunger pain that's been in her belly for a while. She has some very hot beef stew with some bread. And tries this tea. It's quite enjoyable, especially with a bit of milk and some water. Ah, now that is a meal. Glancing at her watch dial, she notices that it is about 10. Time to get things on the road. Miko bounces about happily, and Kinlen picks up a stray stick and throws it for him. When changing her clothes this morning, Kinlen was dismayed to find that her hair is still quite red, and that it's going to take several more washings before the snowberry red dye pulls out of her hair. I'm here to report.
What do you need?
Is the captain inside? The guard gives a crisp nod.
All right, then.
Kinlen clears her throat and tells Miko to wait here, which of course he does not. Kinlen is trying to make her voice gruff and low. She notices that a citizen is talking to the Jarl.
Skald, if you don't mind, sir, I have a request.
You have a request of me, Ulfric? This should be interesting.
Kinlen watches from the doorway.
Sir, with the war going on and all, maybe I could enlist, fight the Imperials.
A servant? Enlisting in the Stormcloaks? Oh, Ulfric. That's why I like having you about. Oh, you're always good for a laugh.
Yes, sir, that's me, the oafish servant.
My Jarl, I have concerns about the safety of Dawnstar.
Safety? Don't I have you to handle the town's safety? What is this about, Jan?
You keep pledging more and more of our guard to the front lines. The way this is going, we won't be able to defend our own borders.
Nonsense. The best place for our men is driving the Imperials back. I will ensure that men from Dawnstar get every opportunity for glory.
Glory is meaningless if they have no home to return to. I urge you to lower our commitments to the front until I'm sure we're safe.
I won't have you rob our soldiers of their chance to drive out the Empire. I'm done discussing this, Jan.
Kinlen hurriedly lowers her head and walks in. She clears her throat, hoping that this is the Stormcloak captain.
Next Imperial I see is dead.
Oh, yeah, for me too. I love killing those Imperials. I have important documents for you, sir.
All right, let's take a look. Ah, good. Looks like the reinforcements for the fort are on the way. And we have some information about enemy troop movements as well. Excellent. It's not easy running messages, what with Imperial scouts crawling all over the place. Well done. Why don't you grab yourself a drink at the Wind Peak before heading back?
Ah, yeah. Bit of that Nord ale warmed up. Ought to hit my tummy well. Yes, well. Let's see if we can use anything in speechcraft here. Kinlen just makes some small talk about the weather.
It can't be helped.
Oh, that's an interesting answer. Excuse me. Come on, pup.
Ulfric, I have an order of swords and armor from the local blacksmith coming here. I need every piece polished to a fine shine.
Yes, my Jarl. We could hardly waste anyone else's precious time on such a tedious task.
Exactly, Ulfric. You always know your place.
Kinlen considers talking to the Jarl and decides not to push her luck. Her task completed. It's time to head back out to Skyrim. And you know, the minute I pressed that door, I considered, you know what? That was a mistake. Let's head back in and say something to the Jarl, because Kinlen wants to report back to him, to her father as to basically the Jarl, his thoughts, what type of person he is, the best way to defeat him if we come into battle, that kind of thing. You know, her job is to gather information, so let's gather information, shall we? Yeah. Excuse me. Move over there, son.
By the divines, I'm tired.
Yeah, well, so are the rest of us. I've been running all around the breadth of Skyrim. Hey, Jarl.
We are poised for glory, Yod. The Empire will never take Dawnstar, while every last man, woman, and child here draws breath.
With respect, Jarl, you can't ask everyone to throw themselves against trained legionnaires. Let's leave the fighting to the Stormcloaks.
You're right. Why dilute the glory with too many souls fighting over it? We'll drive out the Empire and be celebrated as heroes when we win.
If we win, this war's gonna drag on for years. I can feel it. We need to prepare for a long struggle ahead.
Enough of your dire predictions. We will talk about this another time.
Jarl. Yes.
Unless you're here to solve this nightmare problem, I don't need you.
Well, you know, I've heard about it, but, you know, I'm just a Stormcloak courier. I'm just wondering what your thoughts are on how Dawnstar's faring in the war.
The Stormcloaks are destined to win this fight. Talos is with us, and when you fight under a divine's blessing, victory is assured. Dawnstar has a history of being the site of battles that have crippled the fate of the Empire. I hope this remains true.
Well, thank you. I'll be on my way then. I just wanted to get a chance to meet your eminence, and Talos' blessings be upon you.
Don't bother me again unless it's important.
Yes, sir.
The Jarl is tired. Be mindful of that.
It sounds like you are a man who is trying very best to protect the town of Dawnstar, and I commend you for that.
All right, then.
All right. Kinlen stomps out, walking in her heavy-handed boots in a strong way. She wasn't really trying to come off as a guy. She was just sort of trying to come off as a generic, gruff courier. You know, obviously not a guy. Oh, it looks like, yep, wonderful. She hasn't taken a bath in a while, so that also has helped to cover up some of her face there and make it a little bit easier for the disguise to carry through. She's itches a bit underneath the tunic, but it's worth it. Also, come to think on it, Kinlen does have one more thing to do. Yes. One more thing of great importance. She walks back into Wind Peak Inn to drop off a very important package. She looks around, hoping to find the Argonian woman who gave her the clothing. She walks here. It's gonna have a little sit down. She mumbles to herself, "Ah, it's so good to get off my feet." Ugh. And then when she's sure that no one is looking, she opens the chest. And into it, from her pack, she drops the following. The gloves of mourning. Sure, what the heck. The boots she decides to keep because they're so very nice. But she's going to drop some coin in there to compensate for it. The mourning dress. Actually, you know what? She's going to give these back. Her honesty would not allow her to do that. But what she does is she memorizes them and she'll order some for herself. These boots are awesome. She orders some for herself from Solitude the next time she gets back. She drops in the boots that the kind Argonian woman, Wanderlust was her name, gave Kinlen. She drops in the cloak without the hair. The hair is just part of the actual gameplay part of it, but it doesn't actually come with hair. Kinlen dyed her hair. She's rifling through her pack looking for anything else. Oh, and she's also going to send these orcish gauntlets back to Solitude. So I think that was it of the outfit that we got, the morning outfit. All right, there we go. She closes the chest. And everything is tucked inside. On top of it, she leaves a little bit of gold and a note. To Wanderlust, thank you so much for allowing me to use your mourning dress. I wore it with honor for your son and for those I have lost as well. Thank you. She purposely does not sign it. She bumps past Miko. Everybody's listening to the bard playing. And I think that's it. She stomps out again. And that part of her mission is done. The Stormcloak papers have been given back. And I believe it's going to be time for battle. Feeling refreshed and in the need of a bit of exercise, Kinlen takes off for a little jog back to the Imperial camp. Let me check our quest log here. This is part of Helgen Reborn. We are going to be doing this, and I think I'm going to head off to Helgen for the next episode, now that we have gotten a little bit farther in the Civil War quest line. Yeah, nothing to do here. I'm just curious where this battle alert is. Let's see. Fort Fellhammer. We might head down that way on our way back to Helgen. That is part of a mod called Reoccurring Battle Sieges, I believe. And it's really neat. It basically just spawns some soldiers, Imperial soldiers in this case, at specific forts around Skyrim, and then you just go and battle them. You kill the Stormcloak commander, you get a reward, a pricey goblet. And that's basically, I'm role-playing that, Kinlen, being that this is a civil war, just because the Imperials have taken something doesn't mean the Stormcloaks won't attempt to take it back, or, vice versa. And that is a wonderful little mod. You can find it on my mod list in the descriptions below in the description box. Oh, Kinlen tires and decides to walk a bit. I just had a complete brain fart. There we go. Nope. I just had a brain fart. I cannot remember how to... There we go. I could not remember for a second how to get her to walk again. was an old lady moment. Which, unfortunately, I've been having those since I was, like, 20. So I have no excuse. It is I! It is I! Hold your weapons! Kinlen lifts her hands out, puts her swords away. Let's put those swords away. To show that she is, completely empty-handed. She greets everybody. Oh, Scout, I hope you were a good girl. And Miko happily plays, and we're going to now set everyone back to resting. And then we're going to walk in here and get back into our normal outfit. I loved this, though. That was great. I was unaware of how many opportunities we would have for Kinlen to go in disguise when I first started the Civil War playthrough, because I've never played the Civil War before. So it was really a lot. It's been a lot of fun. This has been a really enjoyable playthrough. It's not done yet, but it's been really great so far. Okay, so we will put back our regular traveling clothes. Kinlen's still red hair. Not her natural color. And her cloak and... Nope, not battle helmet. Not Stormcloak battle helmet. This one. And she gladly gets back into her heavy cloak and wraps it tightly around herself. The time is... It's just 12:30. Let's have her report back in to Legate Rike. Everyone is still having a good talk around the table. Legate is admiring the stories that Brock tells her.
Good job. I knew I gave the mission to the right person.
No warmth. So
well, I'm glad.
Good hunting and
I'm wondering, though, our next step... She doesn't have anything to give us on our next step.
I'll take my leave, then. Something to report?
Nope. Let's see, what do we do next? So we just regain the pail? I am unsure what that exactly involves, so I'll have to find out. And in fact, I think I'll end this episode here. I just realized that I forgot to give those gauntlets to the Imperial male. But we'll sit down here. There really isn't any place to sit down, otherwise on the ground, except on the ground. So we will have a seat. Kinlen will warm herself beside the fire, and we start the episode more or less where we ended it. All right, let's try that again. We will end the episode more or less where we started it. So in the next episode, we will find out what involves regaining the pail specifically, if it involves going to a specific fort, whatnot. And then head down and continue on with Helgen Reborn and weaving that into the story as well. I am so glad you joined me today for this episode. If you enjoyed what you saw, please hit the thumbs up button below. And if you loved it, join the party and subscribe. I'll see you back here in Skyrim. Cold, snowy, beautiful Skyrim in the next episode. And as always... thank you so much for watching.